Hi there, my name is Matthew Brick. I'm a Valor Christian High School student, brother of four. I'm a wrestler, and I'm out to find interesting stories to talk to about, make connections, and hopefully point people to God. Let's get this, the Brick House Podcast.
This is Brick's home. This is your house. Presenting the Brick House Podcast. The Brick House. Here comes the boom.
Hey there, guys. My name is Matthew Brick. Welcome back to the Brick House Podcast. Today, I'm here with Jana, PettyJohn, a mom of two, a wife, a former Division I field hockey player at Harvard, and a former yoga teacher. How are you doing, Jana?
I'm good.
Yeah, this is my aunt as well, and I'm so excited to have you on. Thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
How's your day been?
It's been good.
I hear that. Today, school's been all right. I have a upcoming wrestling match. So today felt kind of slow because I just got back from Thanksgiving break. But 3 more weeks, and I'll be back on break. So not that much. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, what are you up to? What are you doing up to nowadays? Like, what's your day-to-day kind of thing with taking care of 2 children? And yeah.
Well, right now we're kind of in the middle, besides Thanksgiving break, just homeschooling stuff and figuring out our routine. So, it took a couple months, and Scarlett, who's 6, likes it mostly. Reagan can be a bit of a distraction, but we have a routine going. So it's mostly figuring out what to do, finding other homeschool kids, and it's already mealtime again. And let's see. Scarlett started violin, soccer. Reagan wants to do ballet. Just like a bunch of all the activities are coming.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I'll give you a question. What is the most rewarding part of being a parent, and how has it changed your view on life?
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, it's really rewarding to see when they figure something out and they have a spark of excitement when they're really proud of themselves. I feel like becoming mom changed everything. I feel like I was really worried about it. I feel like I was fed a message about how becoming a mom is the end of your career and you can never go back and wait as long as you can. And I don't know. I just keep going. I just keep thinking I was lied to. It's the best. I wish I started sooner. Maybe not too early.
Yeah.
I was 30 when Scarlett was born.
So what advice would you give yourself if you could go back and tell your younger self something?
Well, one is become a mom sooner, but that sort of just said that.
What's your favorite part about being a mom?
I think just the spark of watching them grow. And it's this sense of responsibility that literally has never been so on my shoulders that was stressful. And there's no one, I don't know, when I was pregnant, it was no one can give birth for you. And sort of with Reagan right now, I can't pee for her. She will wait to go to the bathroom for hours. I can't do it for her. But with everything else, going to college or work, you can always quit, but you can't really quit
Being a parent.
Yeah. So
I feel yeah.
It's both sides of the coin, right? But that's also the most rewarding.
I could say, I'm no parent, only going to be 16, but I think right, I've thought obviously if I were to have a kid, I'd want it to be a boy, but kind of be this thought of it's mini me. I can have him be, not only it came from me or and I could teach him how I want
That is fun. Yeah, it's what I want to do with her. That's what we get to do.
Yeah, you're the parent. You get to make the rules. When you're a kid, you don't get that, but now you're the parent. You get I don't know. Yeah, you kind of get to like set them on a path, and but you definitely have this like control in a sense of like you kind of do. They might like what you like or passion, but then it could be very different as they get older. Because I realize now that there's some things that like I just don't agree on, or maybe I'm different than my mom or my dad. But at least while they're in that young stage, it's kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're kind of mini. Like Scarlett's
Mini,
kind of
yeah.
in a mini. Well, they're a mini me, but they're also like a miniature teenager. Like she'll have this voice that comes out that I go, oh my gosh, she has this whole view of the world that's different. It's developing, but it's partially I can send her on a pathway, but I'm sort of like the gardener and just seeing what pops up.
Oh yeah, that's a good analogy.
Because Reagan is like a mystery to me still.
Yeah, for people
Scarlett
to listen.
and I are a lot alike.
Yeah, these are my two cousins, adorable, and they live out in Texas. And I used to live up in Texas, and it's different than Colorado, but yeah.
Yeah, I never thought I would live in Texas.
Yeah.
I've stopped saying it, but I pretty much insisted that we have Colorado girls that happen to be born in Texas. But
Yeah, they love it down here.
well, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Like, what are you well, I guess you sort of just said that, what you're most looking forward to as a parent, but I guess I would ask that, like,
Okay.
What's your impression of becoming a parent? What are you most looking forward to in adulthood?
So, personally, I think what I look forward to, I don't know, like, the hope is right. You can always do better than what your parents are doing. I can say I look at both my parents and I think both of them, like, if I could be a parent, I actually would probably model a lot of my parenting off of my parents. I'd say they're really good parents, which I'm very grateful and lucky for, because, I know people my same age and they don't have that same situation. But yeah, I really look forward to, keep things going and just keeping, well, also there's only 3 bricks left in our family. So I don't know, passing the name down, Brick. Yeah. I feel like that'd be cool. Boy, girl, whatever would happen, yeah. I'd be grateful. Cool. With raising children, is there a role of faith that you need? Because, like, as a parent, sometimes you want to protect them and love them. But, like, what role of faith does a parent need? Or do you think it's beneficial, one, to have faith as a parent? And what role does it play in your family?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think becoming a parent has brought me farther to the edge than most other experiences. So when I have found myself there, it's a question of, oh, yeah, right, I can't rely on myself alone.
It's like
our church has been talking about it a lot, but like, like after you decide to follow Jesus, the ways in which you're pruned as a person and like the deepening of your faith, I guess. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I perceive it. I suppose, kind of like the sharpening of the iron. Yeah,
like it, when you're around people, like it takes 2 to sharpen each other, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I really like the community that I'm in at Valor and then Red Rocks Youth. I've finally found a group. We don't, I still would consider myself kind of a floater, but I can go to Red Rocks Youth and be like, these people, they care, they love me. And we for the most part, we hold each other accountable. And as a teen myself, I struggle with a lot of stuff. It feels like, and I know a lot of people may be listening, or just as a person in general, they struggle with things. And so I guess my question, what advice would you give to young men and women? Maybe one thing, because as a woman, what would you tell women? And then what would you tell men? Because, yeah.
Yeah. Gosh, it does seem like not long ago, but I also realized it was quite a while ago, and you guys are growing up in such a different
time.
Yeah, there's just a lot. I got my first cell phone as a sophomore, and it was a button phone, and I don't think there's there weren't really smartphones till I graduated from college, or at least not that I got. And so I don't know. I think a lot about just how things are changing so rapidly, and there's so much information out there in the world. So just the idea of stay grounded in what's real and beware of just everything in our culture is at a, I don't know. It's, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, okay, I'll say, something that I feel like I kind of am freed from a little bit is this pressure of having, I don't know, just this like, and people say society this, society that, and I think that's true, but maybe we even put this pressure onto ourselves, almost like we have to be a certain way. But like, I just feel like I'm freeing myself because I'm no longer acting how someone else wants me. I mean, obviously you want to be cordial, nice, certain values, like have values, but to be yourself, because I feel like when you're authentic, that brings people in, and then you don't have to worry so much about, like, I feel like as a person who kind of struggles with anxiety continually, even now, it's at least one thing that I can do, at least at school and maybe social events, that like just being myself, that's like the easiest form of just not worrying,
Yeah. Well, and it's a harder walk than it sounds. I remember hearing that like in middle school, be yourself. And I just remember thinking, what does that mean?
Well, some people might take it a whole different route.
Well, true, right? It can be taken in many ways. What you just said reminds me of, I did a mission trip to Bolivia in college, and there was one of the guys who was a long-term missionary there gave me this quote, if I can remember it exactly. He said, bless people with the truth of who you really are. It makes life so rich. And it has always stuck with me because I feel like I got really good at like performing all the duties that were expected of me, like where we grew up and sports and academics. And I always joked when I graduated college, I'm really good when someone tells me what to do, but I don't know how to decide anything for myself. And so I was, I had these personas that I didn't realize were personas that weren't really me. But then I was always there too. It takes a lot to
courage.
It takes a lot of courage to not perform for others. Of course, with the caveat of be nice, like cordial.
Well, I don't get it right.
Manners.
I definitely do not get it right because, I might be weird. There's definitely times, right, maybe with a girl or with anything, like, sometimes I want to impress, or, I think that's fair. Like, sometimes there are times where you need to be maybe a little cool. I don't know, but
that's the secret. Everyone's actually super awkward. It's just who can pass it off better than others. I think that's my.
I agree.
I agree. Awkward myself,
because it's almost like when you're telling someone else they're not cool. It's like, well, they're playing up an act as well a little bit, or something like that.
That's a good word for it.
Yeah, but I mean, everyone goes through something, and everyone is seeking something, and yeah. I guess another question I would have for you, kind of back to faith, what is one monumental thing of faith in your life? Like maybe an event, or maybe, it could even be like having your 2 daughters, like a monumental thing. Maybe that has changed your perspective on things, or.
That's a good question. So I can think of like a couple pivotal times. Yeah. I got baptized in 8th grade, and I remember kind of asking my mom, like, so I wasn't baptized as a baby? Like, was I supposed to be? And then I did a lot of young life, and so I wanted to be baptized. And then, later on in life, like that was a good starting point. And then I think with everything that happened in 2020 and just seeing a lot of surprising things from people I knew, and just from the world, I don't think I really I think I believed everyone was at the core, like everyone is deserving of love at the core, but I really think there is evil in the world. And so I don't think I believed that until 2020 and beyond, without
Like there is something more that's going on than just what it seems.
Like there's so much lying happening, and it's not even. I just feel like it wasn't hidden anymore, and I think your grandma and grandpa, my parents would. I mean, the things they talk about now, they've been talking about since I was a kid, and I would kind of roll my eyes, and then it's like, oh, is this what you've been talking about for 30 years? And it's actually kind of coming to fruition now, and maybe I gave too much credit to these powers that be that don't have our best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And that has actually probably brought me to a deeper faith more than, I mean, having a child, yes, but really being confronted with my own lack of control and power over what's happening in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, not everybody is out for the good.
Yeah, I can testify to that. But, that's what it also inspires me to, for as what I've at least noticed in the coming years, for how much there is maybe evil or people maybe hate. I feel like there's more coming together in community and like goodness that maybe people don't give credit for. I think there's a lot of stuff that's good coming on, and that will happen. And, people don't, I don't know, maybe it's because maybe it won't catch as much views on something or something.
It's not as, clickbaity.
Not popular, but yeah. And I can say kind of with being baptized, I don't really know. I don't really feel anything specifically. Like my faith, it's always being tested. But in the baptism, it's just kind of it's not even like it saves you. It just shows that you just publicly saying, I believe in God. And I believe in God, but I mean, there are even times daily or weekly where it's like, I don't 100% trust God sometimes, or actually a lot of the time, because it's just hard. It's a hard thing to do, and it's scary when you can't see him and feel him. What
made you decide to get baptized?
What made me? So I had been baptized when I was younger with my brothers, but as a triplet, I wanted to do it myself because I still believe in God at that time when I was 12 years old, Easter Day, but it's almost I want to say that choice. I did. It was my choice this time, and no one else. I mean, my brothers didn't make me do it, but I definitely felt like I had to do it when my brothers went up and did it. And so it's like I can say it was my own.
Yeah.
I did it. And I was really proud of it, and I don't feel much different, but I can say I've seen small, maybe very small, just small things of just being, I feel a little more grateful. I know, maybe it's also the time of season, Thanksgiving has just passed, but rolling into this season of Christmas time, and I don't know, maybe for other people, but I definitely really want, and then going into the new year, I want to embody almost I want to be known as a person who can love someone when even everyone else is maybe not fond of the person. And I think going into this season is a time where we can forgive each other and look past each other's things, because there's a lot of things I feel there's definitely stuff I still hold on to, and I know I have a lot to work on, but I don't know, I think I get, and it's also why it's kind of my favorite time of the year, because even despite I know there's a lot of families that they despise each other, or maybe they don't like coming together. And I think even in every family there's ups and downs and bumps and bruises, but I actually like it because it's fascinating. If we were to just record a podcast episode of me talking at the dinner table with my family, it would go through many different levels and stages. I think with anyone, right?
Sounds like a good future episode.
Maybe. I don't know if people would want to listen to all the craziness, but yeah, kind of. Well, I do want to, appeal to some of the sports people. I think it's so cool. So, D1 field hockey. I first want to know, what drew you to play field hockey? What age did you get into it?
That's funny.
And how?
Yeah.
Because field hockey, I'm not gonna lie,
It's not very big out here.
It is big out here?
No.
Oh, it's not? I knew what hockey is, but until I really, maybe 8 or 9, when I Well, at least, because when I don't think I really had a conscience or I did, but like I wasn't there. I was just goofing off. But when I first really heard that you played field hockey, I was like, what is field hockey?
Yeah.
So
I think you were born at the end of my last season. Like my last game was November 2nd, and then you guys were born.
Okay. So what drew you to field hockey?
Well, it's like kind of a silly story because it's not very big in Colorado. It's huge on the East Coast. Like kids here in Colorado as a girl or even boys, like we grew up playing soccer and basketball mostly and other sports, but like I didn't start playing till freshman year of high school, and it was only by the recommendation of my school advisor, because we have to do.
Was it through your school?
At Kent, we had to do a sport every season or like a sport class. And for girls, you only had cross country or field hockey as an option in the fall.
Yeah.
So I was going to do cross country. And my counselor advisor was like, well, I think you'll make more friends if you play field hockey, because there's like 8 people on the cross country team and 80 girls go and play field hockey. So
nice.
That is literally why I started field hockey. And then our freshman team was meh. And then I really liked it, and I was really fast, so that helped.
I can't relate. I'm not fast. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's such a – I had an amazing high school coach who, by my junior year, I had done – she helped get so many – her and a few other coaches around Colorado were huge in building up the program here, getting girls who were capable and wanted to play in college recruited. And so she would get us to camps and tournaments that we flew to, like in California or here. And so she kind of planted the seed of, okay, of the 3, there were 3 girls that so-and-so said could play at the college level, and you were one of them. Like, would you ever be interested in doing that? Like, I'll help you contact the coaches. And so literally it was like, okay, I guess. Like, my brothers played sports in college. My heart wasn't really set on doing that, but I do love the intensity of it. Like, I was maybe the only person excited about 6 a.m. practice because it was just like intense. So that just kind of led me on, and my whole recruiting class was super late. Like, we weren't, now you can recruit early. So like sophomore year, coaches can talk to you now, but at the time it was junior year.
Yeah.
And I got recruited, like I signed late junior year. We were a small class, and and I wasn't even going to visit Harvard. Your grandma, my mom, we were visiting, I was getting recruited by Boston University and Dartmouth. And so we were going out for a trip. Actually, your mom came. We went to New York City. So we went out there, and my mom's like, well, let's just see the Harvard campus. And I literally told her, Mom, that's ridiculous. That's the dumbest. I'm not going to Harvard. Come on. She walked me up. They had a summer camp going on. We introduced ourselves to the coach. Like, it's so like awkward to think about how cringy it was. It's just like, you're supposed to contact them way before. But anyway, so it worked out. But I literally told her, I was like, that's the dumbest thing. I'm not doing that. But and then I loved the campus, and it worked out.
Yeah, and what is it like playing collegiate D1 level? I don't know, because like I was just at the Air Force, and I know wrestling is completely different, but I mean, one of our coaches, he was a D3 wrestler, and like he's so good, and I've talked to him. He thinks I think he could compete with some of the D1s, but like it's just like it's kind of like I guess, right? There's D3, but then like D1, like I just can't fathom like how good you must have to be or something.
I don't know. I can't speak to the differences. I'm sure it's a big commitment either way.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I don't know. We had to start preseason like a month early, and
was your team pretty good? Like
we were. They're better now. They're doing really well. But we were pretty good. It was Ivy League is not the most competitive of the divisions, but I guess my freshman year we won the Ivy League title, which was cool. And a couple times we made it to the tournament. I think just first round. Forgive me if anyone I know ever listens to this. Keeping up with stats has never been my thing for sports. Like,
neither am I. No.
Keep track of the teams we would play with, but yeah. I mean, I thought we were pretty good. It was fun. I mean, it is such a funny sport. Like, it's so, like, all my East Coast friends, they grew up playing it. It's the most natural thing for everyone to play. But out here, it was like...
I mean, I know I talked to a lot of guys, and so, guys, if you're listening, you might think this is different, but what challenges and triumphs, or what are the triumphs and challenges of being a female athlete? And I think even guys can relate to this a little bit, but, I mean, I'm not a girl. I don't know what it's like, and, yeah.
Yeah, interesting times we're in right now. But I think I came to the realization, because I grew up with two brothers, so I didn't really think of it as different to play sports. I kind of grew up in a culture of sports everywhere, and I can be just as strong as my brothers. And when I came back after freshman year, and Brett was playing field hockey with me, and he could hit the ball. Like, I had worked on my hit all spring season, every day for hours, getting my hit strong. And then he hits the ball, and it's 10 times better and stronger than my hit. And that was the first time it occurred to me, and I was so pissed off. Like, this is not fair. Like, Brett, you've never touched a field hockey stick. He's like, I did one time, like so-and-so's. It's like, this is so unfair. And I think I bought the belief that the rightful message given to girls of my generation, and probably still now, is like, okay, girls can do anything. And I knew from the history, my mom wasn't really, sports weren't a thing. Even your mom, sports weren't a common thing. She was finally able, it was like an option for your mom versus grandma. But so I knew it was a big deal, and I was proud that it was more fair, and we had a chance to play, and we didn't have to wear. They have pictures of old field hockey teams in our, like, outside our locker room from, like, early 1900s, literally full length skirts. Like, I don't even know. They just, shuffled around. I don't get it, but
yeah.
So I think the realization that, and of course with everything happening now, and learn, like, men and women's bodies are so different at a baseline level, and that really made me mad for a while.
Well, does then that give you that much more joy, maybe, that, like, and happiness? Like, I know that's not a big thing now in your life, but back when you were competing and that was kind of what you were doing, like, did that give you pride and joy that you're doing something that not many other people are doing? I don't know.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know if I thought of it that way, but I loved being a college athlete most of the time. It was kind of hard to leave it behind and then be like, oh, who am I now? I'm supposed to get a job and graduate. But like, going to we'd have our spring season was about it was at least 40 hours a week year round. And so spring season was all training and, like, going into the weight room, and we had this whole weight regimen with the football weight coaches, and it's just kind of fun and silly. And I had a lot of injuries, but you just are always working on yourself. So I don't know, I had two brothers who did it, so I was proud to
compete
do what they were
and
doing
do what
too.
they're doing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, how about this? I'm gonna do a segment, rapid fire questions. I'm gonna give you 3 questions. I guess, is there anything else you would want to say before I do these questions? Because they're gonna be kind of fun questions, I think.
I don't know. I think it's really cool what you're doing.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. All right. So I'm gonna give you the question, and you'll have to see, but it's
I'm
hopefully
supposed to
fun.
answer quickly, right? Like, don't overthink
Sure.
it.
I mean, kind of. I don't know. Sweet or savory snacks?
Ooh, I like the mixture. Like, when it's both.
I get cravings. Like, it depends. Like, on what I'm feeling.
Yeah. That's like the most wishy-washy answer.
Both? Okay. We'll go with that. If you could live in any era of history, when would it be?
Oh.
I wish it was I can say like the 50s. Like, that's, I mean, some people that's not a good time sometimes, but I just like the idea of it, but I don't know.
When I was younger, I told Grandma this too, and I can see why she didn't like the idea of it then, but I used to say the 60s, like after Austin Powers came out, I just thought, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Like, I want to wear bright colored bell bottoms, and I did, and now they're back in style, which is another story, but
yeah, neon.
Oh yeah, I think my first week of school in 6th grade, I wore like neon green bell bottoms. They were my favorite pants.
Yeah, I just got some neon clothes, so I'm
Nice.
ready to.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't think that would be my answer now. I'd like go back in time for specific curiosities, but I don't know. It's hard to say because I think as a woman, I'm mostly happy now.
Yeah, I
there
hear
were probably
that.
some really interesting
Oh, for sure.
things to be a part of.
Sparta. Oh, all right. Yeah, Sparta was
Maybe not too far back, but
not too far. Well, they were like commanding, surprisingly.
well, that's true. See, I don't
They
know
were
as much of the
leaders.
ancient history. I've just
Yeah.
started to
In
learn
Greece.
more
Yeah.
becoming a mom because I listened to like tons of audiobooks and podcasts, and I didn't love history as a
I hear
growing
that.
up, but I do now.
One last one. If you could master any skill instantly, what would it be?
Oh,
Yeah, I feel like that would be a good one.
like
Because it's nice to be crafty and like get the job done. You know?
true. I mean, just being able to like fix or like build a house would be cool, but
Yeah. So like carpentering.
But I think like truly, I don't know. Like all I want right now, I'm really obsessed with physics. So
I would think
if I could master,
it'd be math. Not because I'm gonna ever use it in life, just to get me through high school. I'm never using math probably again.
well, be careful what you say. Everything revolves around math, technically.
Yeah.
But you don't have to know every ounce of it to function.
No. Well, I thank you so much, and I appreciate you coming in. Everyone that's listening in, I appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you guys so much. That's the Brick House Podcast. My name is Matthew Brick, and make sure to like and follow, share, send it to an aunt and uncle. I mean, it's Christmas time coming up, so maybe they can listen together. It's gonna be fun. All right, guys. Thank you. Bye.